Everyone knows Elon Musk has a lot of companies, but did you know that each one has a single, terrifying purpose? He isn't just trying to get us to Mars, he's building an insurance policy for a species that may not survive Earth. And once you see this blueprint, it stops looking like science fiction and starts looking like a plan B for humanity.
You're watching BurstComms.
Let's be honest, Earth isn't dying, it's just tired of us being on it. The climate is wobbling, nations are armed to the teeth, AI is accelerating faster than our minds can follow, and we are 8 billion people sitting on one very fragile rock, hoping everybody behaves. And spoiler alert, they're not. We have a warm planet, more people, less resources, and crumbling old models of governance. So Elon Musk clearly looked at all of this and decided we need a spare civilization. Most people see a random portfolio of companies, rockets, cars, tunnels, a few satellites. Individually, they make little sense. But when you line them up, they snap into a single mission plan. Let me show you what they really are and how each one fulfills a specific role for the mission to Mars. So let's list them all out one by one, starting with SpaceX, which is obviously the transportation to Mars. Followed by that is Tesla, which will be the backbone of all Martian vehicles and the entire power grid system of any colony. Starlink will provide the communications link back to Earth, while the Boring Company will dig the subterranean cities that the colonists will live in. Optimus and Grok, these will be the foot soldiers and builders for humanity on Mars. And Neuralink will allow for the settlers to communicate in a potentially networked manner, vastly improving human cognition potential. And even X tests how they govern themselves without falling into chaos. Individually, they are businesses. Together, they are a civilization-level survival machine, built just to colonize Mars. Mars is awful. It's cold, dry, dusty, and hostile. There is no breathable atmosphere, no magnetic field, and radiation levels that would make a microwave jealous. It is not paradise and it is not ready for us, but it is the only nearby world big enough, stable enough, and calm enough to become a second home for us. Mars doesn't need to be ideal, it just needs to be not Earth. So let's take a look at how each of these companies forms a vital step of Elon's ladder off of this planet. SpaceX gets the glory, and for good reason. Before this company, rockets were disposable metal tubes that crashed after one use. Now we see massive boosters landing themselves with spectacular precision. This is more than a feat of engineering. It is the single most important component of the entire plan, Starship. Starship isn't a moon shuttle, it's a civilization transport system. To put 1 million people on Mars, you need tens of millions of tons of equipment. And to achieve that, you have to send it in 150-ton reusable stainless steel monsters. But here's the fragile hinge of the entire plan. Starship must refuel in Earth's orbit. If it can't, then we are never reaching Mars with the intent of staying there. If refueling works, civilization gets a backup planet. If it fails, humanity stays grounded. Every company, every robot, battery, tunnel, and governance experiment depends on that single maneuver. So, assuming Starship pulls off the world's most spectacular splash and dash, the colony will still be far away. Mars is far enough that conversations come with a built-in dramatic pause. You cannot run a colony with a 10-minute delay. You can't operate robots, coordinate emergencies, or manage power grids effectively. So this is where Starlink comes into play. Starlink is not about Mars colonists getting Netflix. It's the digital bloodstream that keeps a colony alive and humming, ranging from telemetry, control systems, habitat monitoring and emergency comms. Humanity 2.0 will have people video calling each other, accusing the other of poor Wi-Fi, but on different planets. Okay, so Starship gets them there, check. They've got good Wi-Fi, check. Next is the simple matter of having power for life support, forever. Mars has sunlight technically, but it arrives like a British summer, not reliably. And dust storms can last weeks. So on Mars, electricity is life support. Tesla's Powerwalls and megapacks become the backbone of the Martian grid. Power for habitats, robots, food systems, and oxygen plants. So this isn't just synergy. This is pre-planned standardization for a second civilization. Given the radiation and climate, nobody is living on the surface of Mars. Real Martian cities will be underground, buried in tunnels thick enough to stop radiation and trap heat. The Boring Company's Proof-Rock tunnel machine doesn't just solve traffic on Earth, it solves survival on Mars. If the colonists on Mars want a safe civilization, they're going to have to dig one. But that leaves us with the problem of who is going to do the really hard work outside without growing an extra head, like in Fallout 4. The first Martian colonists will not be human. Optimus robots will march off of the Starship ramps and become the security teams and construction workers. They will lift, build, and weld the infrastructure, while Grok does the planning, coordinating, and thinking. They don't need oxygen, warm beds, or therapy. They simply work relentlessly, effectively, and autonomously. And by the time the humans arrive, the colony will already exist, built by machines, orchestrated with the synchronized precision of a Swiss watch. Neuralink is the cherry on the cake. On Earth, it starts as a medical device, but on Mars, it becomes an upgrade. It allows for faster decision making and better coordination with the AI systems. On a hostile world, the human brain will be the bottleneck. Neuralink is Musk's attempt to widen it and network it at the same time. Oh, and X? Well, it's not just a social network, it turns out. It's a stress test of direct democracy. Mars will need fast laws, short laws, and clear laws, not 900-page PDFs with committees. X is the prototype for how humanity 2.0 might govern itself. But remember the Starship refueling in orbit hinge? Well, it wasn't a joke. Everything you just saw, 2 decades of development, thousands of engineers, this entire perfectly patterned portfolio comes down to a single moment. Can Starship refuel in orbit? If yes, Mars becomes real. The robots launch, the tunnels dig, the grid activates, and the humans follow. If no, we stay here, on this overheating rock, arguing online. Humanity's sequel depends on 2 steel giants sharing a drink above the planet, with zero room for error. So let's forget all the headlines for a moment. Musk isn't building vanity projects. He's building continuity. A blueprint for a species preparing for its next version. A civilization designed to outlive its birthplace. Humanity 1.0 stays on this rock. Humanity 2.0 begins the moment Starship refuels. And if it works, we become multiplanetary. Consider this. The first European explorers pushed small wooden boats into the Black Oceans, mocked as fools for chasing ghosts. Now, their names are in our history books. Soon, the first humans will board the waiting lines of starships. And we are about to watch as legends are again made in the 21st century.